All right, everyone. Hello and welcome to Morphin Meet. Now, once again, I'm your host, Chris Whipan, the events manager for Renegade Games, and I am here with an interview guest. Now, he doesn't do design, he doesn't do artwork, but he is our host for this great show. So I felt it important for you all to get to know AK Neild a little bit better. AK, how are we doing today?
I am doing wonderful, Chris. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. So
Yeah.
um, we decided we really needed a host because I think it's important to have somebody to kind of have some continuity and things. And man, we your name came up multiple times and
Oh,
rapidly. So
well, thank you.
uh,
Yeah.
we're really glad that you stepped up and you said yes. So you came out of our Power Rangers. Well, you came out of our Renegade Heroes program, which is our demo team, right?
Yes. So what actually started all of this was the Kickstarter for Heroes of the Grid came out, and of course that's where we all start, right? Where we're finding out all the live demos were coming out into the onto your website, all your visits to like Power Morphicon. So I was one of those avid fans that just kind of kept watching everything, and then an opportunity came out. So I'm based here in Central Florida, and we actually got an invitation from the marketing manager back then, uh, that was like, hey, we need some people to help out with a small convention. It's called Ranger Stop, that's based here in Orlando, and they needed some volunteers, and that kind of just escalated quickly. So like I volunteered to go for it. I was like, now I get to actually like kind of play this, and demo it. And not only that, but it was at a convention where there are several actors there, and several people from Power Rangers. So it was just a fun, huge celebration, and that kind of just led up to, hey, if you really like demoing, do you want to join us with the Renegade Heroes and kind of demo? So I actually got to continue on and actually demo more and more games. So it went from just a simple Power Ranger fan to like, ooh, there's a Kickstarter, to oh, there's all these games, and it kind of like gatewayed into this whole world of just board games, and with Renegade, which has been really, really awesome. So um, just getting to know everybody on the team has been just a blast. So
Awesome.
yeah.
So what I'm hearing is your Power Rangers first, board game second. So you didn't come in the other way, which is the typical route of our demo team.
Right. So it definitely led into that. So it was definitely Power Rangers, and I've played role playing games. I've
Okay.
Dungeons and Dragons and things like that in college, but I never really thought about getting into just board games, and thinking that there was a whole industry about with
Hmm.
this. So it was a very big eye opener, and learning about like what kind of games there are, and all of a sudden here I am playing other board games, which
Right.
I'm teaching to all my friends who aren't board game players at all. So I'm just
Sure.
like, I'm gonna turn you into a believer as well. So it's been a ton of fun. It's an unconventional route, but I love the route that it's gone into.
I love that. It's definitely different and it's not the path
Mhm.
that, I came or that I'm used to seeing. So it's pretty cool to hear something different. So now I'm curious, how hard was Heroes of the Grid to learn and learn well enough to demo as a person who didn't have a lot of experience doing that?
Um, there was it was definitely a lot of technical aspects that I was not expecting, but being a really well themed game, I was able to kind of think, oh, you know what? This is kind of like how they do it at the show. So, for example, there's when you're fighting in Heroes of the Grid and you're fighting a boss, or excuse me, a monster, rather than a foot soldier. When the monster gets defeated, oh yeah, all the other foot soldiers go away. That's how we initially learned it. And I go, oh, just like the show. How else do you do things like the show? So it was like, oh, here's the blade blaster. Oh, just like the show. So it was so well themed. And so,
Ah,
I got to correlate a lot of that into how to play and how to be tactical in the game. And then, like with the Rangers themselves, they were all very specific type of characters, so they all had very specific type of roles and moves. And so I was like, okay, this is how I see it. This is how you strategize, and that was really awesome. So it was a really good way to kind of just help me um, learn the game and really just be able to just kind of master it. So when we went to demos, like for example, Ranger stuff, it had a lot of big Power Ranger fans, just like myself. So trying to teach the game to them, I was able to relate to them and say, hey, this is how we do things. Let's think of it how we do it in the show or how we've seen the show.
right.
And a lot of them were able to go ahead and understand it in that kind of aspect, and they were really able to enjoy the rest of the demo. So like I got to learn a lot more. The more conventions I went to, some of them didn't have the Power Rangers stuff yet, so I got to learn other games and really learn how to demo and how to master those games. And by the time we got to Gen Con last year, uh, I loved being at the Power Rangers table. And then it went to the point where some of our other demos and other Renegade people on the team were all like, "Oh, he's our Power Ranger guy. Just go ahead and talk to him. He'll tell you exactly what's included in these boxes, how to relate to it." And so, like, I just had a ton of fun at, especially at Gen Con, because it was a huge Power Ranger celebration there.
Awesome. I mean, that's the kind of thing I love is that you're able to take a game, break it down, and explain it through mechanisms because I think that really helps, right? Like if you can
Yeah.
understand what's going on, then you can figure it out a lot faster.
Hmm.
Awesome.
Yes, definitely.
Very cool. So, are you excited for the Power Ranger RPG then? Is that something
Oh
you're
my gosh. Yes. I've already had friends that, that contacted me that they're all RPG players, and so they're all like, I can't wait to play this. So, like, we'll even just start this virtually and we'll go ahead and do things. And I have friends who live in other states that are like, okay, it's one thing we've never actually played role playing games together, but we know we're fans of it.
right?
But now that we got this Power Rangers coming up, we're like, okay, let's go ahead and play it. Like,
That's it.
let's make sure this happens.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So the other before we move on, I just want to touch on. So you were demoing to a lot of people who didn't know the game or didn't know
Hmm.
board gaming, right? Like they
Right.
kind of they maybe knew some basic stuff, but did you
Hmm.
find that challenging, or was your ability to relate things and overcome? Did that help ease things and make it very approachable?
I think it really helped ease things to be able to teach friends. When we actually finally got the game, I've had some friends over,
Hmm.
and we would just do entire parties. They kind of were intimidated by it because it's like, okay, there's a lot of rules, but let me go with you this step by step. And then by the end of it, they're like, okay, I get this, just because it's one of those. Um, I basically demoed it to them. So I was like, I'm gonna let you guys play, but let me go ahead and help you out. So it's one of those. If they
Mm,
had a question, I really understood how it worked, and so I felt comfortable enough to be like, okay, let's look at this kind of scenario. Let's look at what's in your hands,
right.
and especially being a co-op game, it's not your typical game where
Okay.
it's just versus one or whatever it is. It's you're all working together. There's no formality,
Hmm.
with who's going to go play this part when you're playing with three or four other friends, and you're
Right.
like, well, that was the first big hurdle was, okay, there's five of us, there's four of us, all here with cards, and you're just telling us to go. What do we do? And it's like, talk. You work with each other. That's how the Power Rangers did it, right? They all worked with each other. And then once they started seeing things, they were like, oh, I have these cards that can help you out. I have these cards that can help the team out, or whatever it
Hmm.
is. Okay, let's go ahead and start strategizing. And so once we got through that big hurdle, it things cleared up really, really, really
Cool.
well.
So what do you think about, like, because I believe you're in the game, right? You're going to be playing the mastermind mode with Jonathan Ying, where one
Yes,
person
yes,
does get to play the baddie now. So what do you think
yes.
that's going to do?
We actually, I will admit, before all of this, we actually all got together and we're like, hey, why don't we come up with a team and let's go ahead and just try to play the game. We did it virtually since we're all from different states. And we got to just kind of practice and play a game with, um, to just kind of relive everything and to actually, it felt like we were all with each other again. And so we just practiced and really making sure that we got a good team going before we actually go ahead and play Jonathan because we are determined to go ahead and beat him. If we could go ahead and say that we beat Jonathan Yang in a game, that would be like I will make a plaque and I
Yeah.
will go ahead and say like I defeated the creator of the game. If I can
So
do that,
yeah, I mean that's great, AK. But you realize what's going to happen if you do that. He's just going to make whoever he's playing stronger, right? Like,
yeah, oh, definitely. And considering that it's Mastermind, we've never played like we've read the rules. We've never played it yet physically, and so are we scared out of our wits? Just probably a little bit, but we are ready. We think that we got a good team, and so we're really excited to just go ahead and play. If we win, that would be amazing. If not, we still get to say we got to play with Jonathan.
awesome.
So it's still a really good achievement in our life.
It's still a win-win. I mean, I talked to him the other day, and he's certainly looking forward to it. So I'm excited to see how it comes off. I think it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, us too.
Awesome. So let's kind of find out a little bit about your background. So obviously, you are a Power Rangers fan first, which is
Yeah.
great. I mean, that's why you're here.
Mhm.
What was your kind of gateway into the Power Rangers world and universe? What was the one that got you hooked?
I was that clear demographic, right? When they first came out with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, um, I was right at that age. I was probably like around 8 or 9, and we all grew up with a ton of different shows, animes, where you see these things transform and transfigure into one thing, but now you have this whole entire show where it was 5 teenagers that turned into superheroes that were all different colors and that they had all these really cool mechanics and weapons, and that just got me hooked. So I was an avid fan. I was the one who made sure that the VCR was recording to make sure it was recording because by the time I got home from school, it wouldn't be going. I was the one who dragged my family over to all the movies, and they're like, "Really, you want to go ahead and watch the movies again?" Yes, I want to go watch the movies. Um, I was the one who was like, "Mom, I really want this toy. I really want the Megazord." So I was hooked. I was hooked, and my parents understood it. My family understood it, and we stayed there. I stayed there for quite some time, and uh, even now. So like all Hasbro's been coming out with all of these new toys and really nice deluxe action figures that come out, and I'll get some of them, and I'll be having a chat with my parents and be like, yeah, I got a new thing. They're like, didn't we buy that for you when you were like 10? And I was like, yeah, but I wanted the new one. So that was definitely, that's how I got into the whole Kickstarter was I saw something online that said, hey, there's a board game. Wait a minute. Hold on. This is a life changer. So um, being able to just go ahead and relive that nostalgia of the game and knowing that you could do it on a board game with minifigurines. And I was just like, okay, this is new. Let's go ahead and try it. I got the adult money to pay my adult things, and my adult things are Power Rangers.
Nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
No,
So
not at all.
So we started prepping for this the meetup a little while ago, right?
Yeah.
And we kind of started laying things out and shared the schedule with you and everything. So looking ahead at that, what are you like super excited for? Like, what is something that is like this is just this is going to be great. I can't wait to see what it is.
Right. I actually got to go ahead, we found out about the deck builder game. And
Hmm.
so that was great. People had a great opportunity to look at it at Renegade Con, and there's still another opportunity here. And I think with this meet, we're going to get a lot of Power Ranger fans as well that are Power
Right.
Ranger fans first. So let's go ahead, let's reintroduce this game out to people. I love that we're still using Heroes of the Grid to kind of still promote some things like with playing Mastermind. And I will admit, um, I went through the whole Power Rangers saga with like that Zordon era, right? So we all got to go through in space, and space was my favorite season.
Okay.
So I was really excited that we were getting the expansion coming out, and then I heard from you guys. They're like, "Hey, do you wanna work when Morphin meets?" And then you all started slowly telling me, oh, you might do a few panels, you might do a few interviews, we'll play the games. I was like, okay. But when I saw that announcement, when you guys were like, hey, the actors are coming, I was like, hold on, wait a minute, I need to like get all my fanboy jitters out right now because this is gonna be cool. This is a whole lot of worlds mixing. And when you guys asked me, hey, do you want to go ahead and host the panel for the Power Rangers in Space reunion, I was on the floor. I was like, this is this real? This is surreal. Like, is this real life? So I'm really looking forward to that. Um, and just kind of getting all their questions out there. It was
Right.
such a unique season to the Power Rangers franchise that kind of led into a whole bunch of like the future of Power Rangers. I honestly think that it was one of the most different ones. I
Hmm.
mean, you got your typical teenagers that went to high school and that was all they did. And now let's launch them into space. Let's see what we could do. There's a bigger universe of Power Rangers out there
Right.
that we could do. And I want to talk about that with them. And I can't wait to kind of get their take on the show. And I kind of can't wait to hear how they hear about like not only have you guys been, immortalized in comic books and in the shows and everything, but now you're immortalized by a game. Like your character is there. Like that will always be like on my shelf now. And like I get to say like I get to have little figurines of you guys. Like I really want to get to know their take on the show because it was so unique compared to the other seasons.
That's got to
So
be
I'm really
very,
excited for the panel.
yeah, that's got to be very cool being able to play with your own little avatar of you, right? Like,
Right? I,
it's
and
very,
and that's what I experienced at Ranger Stop was several of the actors started coming in, and we had the giant display, and of course it was only Mighty Morphin, and to see things where we saw the Sudarso brothers who were in Dino Charge and Ninja Steel, and they got to see like all the characters. They saw the Hyperforce characters, so they got really excited. Walter Jones came over. Like I was in the middle of a demo, and he like puts his elbow on me. He's like, "Hey man, what's this? What's this game?" I was like, "Oh, you're Zach, okay." And we just got to talk the game. I got to say, "Hey, this is your character," and who else was there? Barbara Goodson was there. She was the voice of Rita Repulsa. I
oh,
think
okay.
that was the most epic moment ever because she comes over. I wasn't in the middle of I wasn't doing a demo at that time, but I was saying, hey, look, your figurine is here, your character, your voice, your character's here. And I started showing her the cards, and she started reading the cards as her character. And I was just like, no one has a camera right now. No one's going to believe this is happening. So seeing them react and just looking at the cards saying like, hey, this is another aspect of my life that they're able to go ahead and do this. So, it's not a surprise when you get these conventions and we see these fans showing up on social media saying, "Hey, I got the cards signed by the characters, by
Right.
the actors." So it's a natural thing to get done, and I love that aspect of you can have this game and you can definitely still be a fan about it and show it to actors or bring it wherever.
Yeah, you can tie it to a person, right? Like
Right.
you can tie it to that moment and that person, and that's what I think it kind of. I don't want to say it validates because that's saying that before it's invalid, but I think it kind of adds a level of interaction to the thing you love, right? It just kind of
Right.
takes it up that notch, and it makes you. That's got to be that's pretty
That'd be
incredible.
cool to say, hey, let me sign this card that that you are a fan of, that you are playing a game. It is multiple levels of your passions mixed in one.
Right.
And and if you're an actor from that show and you get to say, hey, let me sign this for you just to make it just a little bit more special, I mean, that's got to be great.
Yeah. Something to take to conventions in the future when we're all able to assemble in large groups.
I can't wait. Yes, I can't wait till that happens again.
And there'll be more packs and more rangers, so the chances of you actually getting to run into somebody will improve. So
Oh yeah, yeah, especially with all of the expansions that have come out. Yeah, definitely.
awesome. So we do have we call it the reunion in space because it's, we have some Psycho Rangers and we have some of the regular Rangers. So we're going to be super excited about that. That's Saturday night. So be sure to check that out. I would say that is quite literally the main event. And
For Saturday, yeah, I think so.
So,
well, I mean, other than the game playing with Jonathan, I think that's happening Saturday as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's Saturday's the big day. We bulked it up.
It's a big day, and I'm super excited about it. And I love that the fact that Tracy Lynn Cruz, excuse me, is also being doing multiple things in the show, and she's helping host the parade, the cosplay. I can't wait to see all the cosplay, like all the Power Rangers that are gonna show up, and I'm excited to see if we have any Psycho Rangers as well. Those costumes are big kudos to all those cosplayers.
It's a lot of work.
Not easy. It is not easy. I have a ton of friends who do that on the regular, and just seeing how they do it, I commend them all. I wish I had that skill.
So speaking of the cosplay parade, if you are watching this live, I encourage you, please go. If you have any cosplay, post some pictures, put them in the Discord channel for the cosplay parade, because what we're going to do, you can even do a quick short video if you want, like just take, if you want to tour us through your closet or something, because, and put one on, I don't care. Have some fun. Show us what you got, because we have this huge time slot and it's not pre-filled. It's going to be filled by you all at home. So, go get those, post them in the Discord channel with that, or hashtag it on social media. It'll probably be, Morphin Meet Cosplay Parade. That'll be the tag. I'll put it down below. So that way we find it, because we want to put it in the parade so that everybody gets to see it. Because every picture, AK, that I see of any kind of, Power Ranger centric convention there are just so many people cosplaying that I know they're out there. And
yeah. It's top notch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the most unique one that I saw, and I was like, oh, this is gold. And it was this dad came in, and he was the Dino Megazord.
Right.
But he brought his son, and since his son was still just a little teeny baby still, he had him on a sling, but he had him dressed up as a Power Ranger. And so I was like, this is the best thing I was like, I want to do this.
The scale kind of works.
Yeah, the scale works. Like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Make this a family event, right? We're all at that age where, some people are dads, some people just love doing cosplay, and this is their passion. This is the time to do it. So
Absolutely.
and it's an excuse for them, an excuse for all of us to enjoy that. We're not going to a convention. Let's go ahead and do it now.
Yeah. And for just one last bit about the Discord. So if you go to Discord and you go into the channel for, we have it set up for events, go in the channel for the reunion show and feel free to type questions in there, and we'll kind of pick and choose some of the best ones. Obviously, try and make it more for everybody. If your question is, do that, so that, the panel gets a chance to answer. And I think that'll be very helpful. There's a note, preface it with the word question so that we spot it easily, things like that. And then after the show, which starts at 4 p.m. Pacific, and we're going to, the Q&A portion that AK here is leading is about 60, 75 minutes. And then we're going to have most of the Rangers are going to go into their own separate little chat rooms, and you'll be able to chat with them one-on-one till about 6. So that's kind of cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you,
that's something that you don't get in a normal convention because it's like the fun still continues afterwards, right?
yeah,
It's usually like the actors go hide afterwards and they're like, I need a break. But it's like,
yeah,
no, we're all doing this in the conveniences of whether they're at home or whatnot, and they're able to just kind of log on to Discord, which is has been a really good tool for all of these conventions lately. So
yeah.
it's been a great tool during Renegade Con, and I'm excited that we're still using it here to kind of keep the energy flowing.
Right. So I hope it goes well. Our plan was that it kind of takes place of that meet and greet sign line at the end of
Yeah.
one of those. So hopefully this is a chance for people to get in there, ask their questions, and just say thank you. Because I mean, let's be honest,
Right.
90% of what we want to say is thank you for taking part of this awesome thing, for coming out to continue to make it awesome, and how can I support you? Like that's 90% of it right there.
Right. And that's it's it's we get the whole can I get an autograph, can I get a photo out of the way, just because it's like now it's a regular conversation.
Right.
We can make it unique to this kind of situation where we can actually just talk to them and have a really solid conversation, and others will be able to experience it because you'll all be in the same room.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that and to see how that comes off. So awesome. Well, AK, this has been a blast. I've really enjoyed getting to know you because, like, I'll be honest with you, like, this is the first time we're meeting. So this
We
is,
are. That's very true. That's very true. And usually in convention settings, it's uh, it's a lot of just passing by, and it's like when me and Desiree, for example, just started talking, we're like, I know I met you for like 5 minutes at Gen Con, but like now we can actually talk, and
right.
so this has been a treat. Like I'm excited. So whenever that day is that we can actually start going back to convention, be like, Chris, I can see you in person, and so that will
Exactly.
that will be an exciting day. That
Yeah.
will be an exciting.
So
Yeah.
this has been a lot of fun. Hopefully, you got to know AK a little bit better so that, man of the people, as it were. He's certainly going to be in there and ask us your questions. And thank you, AK, for stepping up, for hosting things. And
Anytime. Thank you,
yeah,
Chris. I really enjoy this. I've loved this the stream that we did prior to this so far was just kind of getting all our jitters out and talking with Jonathan and kind of geeking out with him. But now we get to do it on another level, and I'm
yeah,
really excited that we can kind of have fun during this convention, this new event that you guys have created, and a lot of my friends and a lot of people are really excited about this because this is something that we all wanted was
awesome.
something Power Rangers, and like social media has been really hitting us hard, being like, hey, what's next, what's this, what we want to hear more Power Rangers stuff. So now we can all just focus on it and kind of just grill
Yeah,
Scott
yeah.
and say,
And
hey, what's next.
and that's what it was for, right? It's literally we wanted to make this for the fans first, so that you all can enjoy it and have fun, and it's your meetup, right? It's your time to have fun. So great. I'm glad to hear that's exciting. So
Yeah.
awesome. So I will see you around the meet. So thanks again,
Yes.
AK. Let's get out of here.
Anytime.
Let's go do some stuff.
Yes, let's go ahead. I'll see you guys at the panel soon. I'll see you guys in future things, and I'm really looking forward to this.
Awesome. Check it out. We'll see you soon.